for those individuals who follow me, and I'm grateful that you have followed me and that you do follow me. The 15th chapter of Acts really gives us a gist of leadership in the early church and some of the challenges that they faced. Um, the Jerusalem Council, the first church council, we have addressed that to some degree and still are addressing it. And we've walked away with our research assistant knowing this, that the gospel is non negotiable. For the early church, it was a non negotiable. This is what they stood on, this is what they believed in, this is what they torted, this is what they taught. Torted might not even be a word, but that's what I'm talking about right now. And leadership clarity begins with doctrinal clarity. Where there's doctrinal clarity, then the leader can lead from that place of doctrine. In the modern church, especially in the 21st century, we know that doctrine has been challenged. Our doctrinal beliefs, our doctrinal stance, our doctrinal behaviors, they all been challenged. Do we go to church? Are we the church? What are we? Are we only the church on Sunday and Wednesday and Saturday and Thursday? And we're not the church. Wherever we are the salt. And the salt, if it loses its savor, therefore it's good for nothing. So we understand that leadership clarity begins with doctrinal clarity. Stand firm on your doctrine. Know your doctrine. The things that you've been taught. Yes, yes, yes. Stand firm on those things. Uh, Grateful to be in this space and place with you. Leaders must distinguish between core doctrine and cultural preferences. When leaders blur the line, the people are burdened. So, in this 15th chapter of this particular passage, I want you, ma'am and sir, to understand there are some theological non-negotiables that leaders must have if you're going to lead any movement, especially the Christian movement. And we want to make sure that we distinguish between core doctrine and cultural preferences. Now, because I'm primitive Baptist, born primitive Baptist bred, and when I fly, I be primitive in the sky, I have a lot of cultural preferences. And we have been challenged with some of those cultural preferences that we have borrowed from yesterday from people that were first, second generation slavery, literally, real talk. We can trace our roots back to 1866 through Big Harpeth, and then some of the people that raised some of the people that we took those preferences from, they were either people that came out of social underdog, if you allow me to say that, or right after it. So some of our cultural preferences that we hang on to, that's cultural preferences, and it worked in that culture because that's what that culture needed. Can it work now? Yes, it can, but we have to put everything in proper perspective. So the theological leadership implications for Acts 15 is that leadership clarity begins with doctrinal clarity, and the church must understand the difference between core doctrine and cultural preferences. It's Conversations with Cornelius. I'll be back later on with the teaching of the night. Peace and blessings.